Hello, welcome to our Week in Review extended show with your host, that girl, Jenna Curacoa. Today is the 24th of September, 2024. So we're going to be going through this past week's discussions for September 16th through the 19th. Monday, it was our spiritual and social causes, and it was going over a book called Angry Young Men. Tuesday, for our business and tech talks discussions, we talked about nonviolent communication, another book discussion. Wednesdays are well-being and health discussions with Jenna Nutrition. Will it be today? And this is the power of the mind and really focusing on truly what it is that you want out of this life. And then our Thursday showcase event, I shared from the archives, God in America's Gift blog, and I'll be reading from some of that. So let's start with Angry Young Men. I'm reading this book, and overall it's about helping to prevent the vicious cycle of incarceration and the abuse that men experience in life. And a lot of times it starts out in childhood. The book really talks about the overwhelming amount of unnecessary suffering that men go through and encounter within the United States, whether it's through the juvenile courts, the criminal justice system in adulthood, abuse, drugs, suicide, death. There is a lot at stake here, and not enough people are talking about the crisis of young men being abused and which causes them in later on in life to become violent and predators and a real threat to society if there isn't intervention. So a very eye-opening and revolutionary book in that regard, because again, not a lot of people are talking about it. We just kind of brush it under the rug. It's just kind of a societal thing where instead of really addressing the problem and getting to the root cause, we just create more of the prison systems. So this author really goes into a lot of details. He has his own personal experience with being in and out of the criminal justice system and then becoming one of the, from what I can say, one of the greatest success stories from someone with such a rough upbringing to coming out with a PhD and starting programs. So very uplifting. This particular topic, for the first discussion, I wanted to emphasize the importance of fathers in the school settings and the importance of positive male role models to young boys and men. So that was for the first discussion for this book, and I will be bringing it up periodically. Again, it's called Angry Young Men, and check out the link in the description, and it'll take you to the podcast to give you some more information about what was talked about and also about the author. So great discussion, I think, that we'll be having in the near future going through the book Angry Young Men. For our Tuesday Business and Tech Talks discussion, Nonviolent Communication book overview. There's a lot of resources and content out there about this subject matter very specifically, more of the interpersonal communication for everyday interactions with people, but also very importantly for business and formal settings. It's always good to learn how to improve on talking with people. It's a language of life and love and empathy and compassion. Really puts things in a different perspective, and I feel that it's something that needs to be taught more in different environments and settings. So again, it's called Nonviolent Communication. Click on the link and listen to the full podcast about that, and also more about the author and where he's coming from and why this is so important and vital to your everyday life. So that was for our Tuesday Business and Tech Talk discussion. So on the 18th, for our well-being and health discussions with yours truly, Jenna Nutrition, we talked about, will it be today when you just make that final declaration, that statement that I'm going to do this, I'm going to commit to this, and also just really deciding that you're going to live in the present and that you are going to choose to be grateful and choose to be happy. And the real benefit of digging deeper despite the hardships that you're faced with in life, really coming out on top of it despite the pain and the shortcomings and the setbacks against and trials, having the ability to make that conscious effort to say that today is going to be the best day possible. I'm going to choose to think and dwell on the positive aspects of whatever is going on and see how things in your life transform. It's not an easy process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight or quickly. Maybe for some people you'll see quick instant results. For others it'll take a little bit of time because there's a lot of things to unearth. But there is a lot of power from a spiritual aspect in healing from your conscious thoughts and efforts to being quick to forgiving and to be dwelling on positive things, whatever is beautiful, whatever is lovely, whatever kind, praying specifically for the fruits of the Spirit, or knowing that you're going to be healed and believing and having faith. It's a process. So check out the link, get a little bit more insight into what we were talking about with, will it be today? Will you choose today that? For me, for example, I have chosen that today is going to be the best day of my life, and every single day going forward is going to be the best day of my life. And there's more to it, of course, but definitely please take a listen to that podcast and get some more insight. So for our Thursday showcase event, God and America's Gift. This is our biblical perspective section. So the reference that I have for this one is a little bit different than a traditional showcase event. I feel that it was a reminder, a little bit of a comfort and uplift type of showcase. But it's coming from Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 18 through 20, which reads, "Here is what I have seen. It is good and fitting for one to eat and drink and to enjoy the good of all his labor in which he toils under the sun, all the days of his life which God gives him. For it is his heritage. As for every man to whom God has given riches and wealth, and given him power to eat of it, to receive his heritage and rejoice in his labor. This is the gift of God, for he will not dwell unduly on the days of his life, because God keeps him busy with the joy of his heart." So I wanted to remind people here with this particular blog that we are allowed to enjoy our life. We are allowed to have fun and do things that are fulfilling and to enjoy the labors of our work. Part of the blog excerpt says, "This is the gift. Our nation is built on similar principles. You have the right to pursue happiness." No one's going to guarantee that you're going to be happy, but you have the right to pursue it. That is what they claim. So we're sometimes oversaturated with work and just things that keep us bogged down and depressed. We have to remind ourselves, what is the real point? Sometimes you ask, consider the country of the United States and its rights that claim that we have. You're supposed to pursue your happiness, give praise and glory to God, the gifter. Work hard here in this country, enjoy the fruits of your labor, and be happy now and pursue this gift continuously. So that is what I wanted to remind everyone for the showcase event. And very soon we'll be doing some more reviews on restaurants as well as books and local artists. So we're building up our archives and our collections right now. Thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us for our Week in Review extended show with your host, That Girl. At any point in time you're consuming this, I can only hope you're doing well. As always, God's peace and many blessings to your family.